this introduction, but I'll just get directly into the topic here. So, as we rightly remember, so whatever that we are trying to do in this bi-monthly webinar series, which we are going to do it on every second Saturday and fourth Saturday, so from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's only a 1 hour webinar, and we are going to take topics which are very crucial in insurance, and we want to provide a kind of clarity so that you can have confidence in whatever the policies that you already have, what are the coverages that you already have, and at the same time, if there is something which is not known or not clear, then you can have some clarity on it. So the whole purpose of starting this bi-monthly webinar is only to provide the clarity so that you can have a confidence in having your policies in place. Okay, and as the declarations which we always believe in saying this, so we do not represent any one insurance company, nor we are going to promote any product of a particular insurance company in this particular forum. This is a purely discussion on the insurance related aspect, which has got a direct impact on all our regular day-to-day life. Okay, and we are not intended to criticize any specific person or an organization. Okay, and if it comes up, it is only because of that particular flow of the discussion which has actually happened. Okay, and we'll be discussing only insurance. There are no politics. There is nothing else that we'll be discussing on this forum. So it is only on insurance, and the opinions discussed here are absolutely personal, and it can't be taken as an evidence under any court of law. So we just wanted to make it very clear before we get into the seminar. Okay, and coming to today's topic. Today's topic is my parents. My parents, it is whose responsibility? My parents, it is whose responsibility? I know it's an obvious question to everyone, like, and there is an obvious answer to that, right? So it's my parents is always my responsibility. Let's see how best are we clear enough in taking care of the health insurance aspect of our parents, right? So that's the topic, and so the agenda is going to be like this. So we'll be first doing on the current facts of the senior citizen health insurance details, health coverages which are there in the current scenario in India, and what is the exact situation of our parents, and what is the situation of the children, right? We want to take care of our parents, but what is the situation that we are in, and we'll discuss on the real myths which are there under these policies. Okay, so to have a clarity for confidence, and then we'll discuss about the available different types of solutions which are there. Types of solutions, we are not going to promote, nor we are going to say anything about a particular product in this particular webinar, right? So with your permission, can I go ahead? Oh yes, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
So yeah. So yeah, coming to the current facts of the senior citizens, if you see, almost 36% of the people in India are old people. Old people means people who are actually retired and more than 60 years of age. Okay, and India, if you look at, there are more male people who are actually older than the female people. Like if you see the sex ratio out of that, and out of the people who are more than 60 years, 10% of the population has got some or other physical mobility problem. There could be some knee problem, there could be some backache problem, but there is a physical mobility problem for 10% of the people. And 50% of more than 70 years of age, they are suffering with a kind of health related chronic diseases. So these are the facts which are there, and this is the environment in which we are living. Okay, and coming to this, like let me just do a small poll over here and see what is the results of it. Okay, coming to the here. So I'm just launching a poll. Just click whatever is your answer here. Okay, and the poll is launched here. You will see it on your screen. So my parents have the health insurance in place. How many of you say yes? How many of you say no? Wow. There's so many people who are actually clicking the buttons. It's going on and on and on. I think it's almost 50, no, 70% of the people have actually voted. I request everyone to vote on this because this actually gives the perspective. అంటే ఎవరికి ఎంతవరకు పాలసీస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఆర్ ఎంతవరకు కవరేజెస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్ కైండ్స్ ఆఫ్ కవరేజెస్ ఏమున్నాయి అనేది మనకి క్లారిటీ వస్తుంది. ఓకే, వావ్, fantastic, fantastic. I think now almost 90% of the people have voted. Fine, I'm just ending the poll here. How many of you really wanted to look at the poll results? Yes? Yes? Okay, fine. I'm just sharing the results. Just look at this.
Yes.
Session over here, like now, the current situation, what we are actually facing in. Okay, if you actually look into the current situation of the parents, okay, the factors which are there are they have a very static income. Most of the parents, they have a regular either a retirement plan in place or a regular source of income which is coming in either by means of the company providing an pension, or it could be a regular source of income from their own house from where they'll get some rents. So most of the people, they have a static income in place. This is one situation. Okay, and most of them doesn't have the health insurance in place, but even if they have a minimal coverage. If you actually go back and check, the statistics says that most of the parents who already have the insurance, most of them, they doesn't have more than on an average around 2 lakh rupees is what they have. That to both father and mother, the husband and wife together, they have around 2 lakhs of sum assured coverage in place. So whatever it is actually a minimal coverage what they have, and they have a minimal savings because probably this time they would have actually invested all their savings into their children's education, or it could be in their marriage, or it could be on purchasing a new house, right? They would actually spend all their money in all these major things in life. Okay, now they are left out with a minimal savings, right? And how many of you really agree with this? Most of the parents, they always are reluctant to go for any medical checkup. The moment we say, "Mummy, Papa, let's go for a medical checkup. It will be an annual health medical checkup, right?" And what's the answer that you get? I know, you are right. Most of the people, they say no. I'm fine, I'm healthy. Why should I go for the medical checkup? और मेडिकल चेकअप अगर गए तो भी लाइक ना कुछ तो उसमें से प्रॉब्लम निकल के आएगा. So I don't want to go. जो होगा वो देखा जाएगा. अब तक तो कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. ఇప్పుడు వరకు అసలు నాకు ఏమీ అవ్వలేదు, రైట్? ఇప్పుడు వరకు ఏం అవ్వలేదు, నేను బాగానే ఉన్నాను. Why should I go for some diagnostic test? And after that, they will say like there is some problem, ఇది ఉంది అది ఉంది అంటారు. సో నాకు ఇవన్నీ వద్దు, నేను బాగానే ఉన్నా, నేను బాగానే తింటున్నా, నేను ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ ఫైన్. సో డోంట్ ఆస్క్ మీ టు గో ఫర్ మెడికల్ చెకప్. And many of the people, including me, like if somebody wants to know the blood from the hand, it is actually a terrible situation for most of us. So we never want to go for any medical checkup, and the parents, they really don't want to go for it. And the last thing which I've seen in my personal life is they don't want to trouble their children. How many of you agree? Yes, you all agree? Most of the parents, they don't want to trouble their children. They don't want to depend on their children. They want to be on their own. And most of the parents, like including my mom, she used to say, until my last breath, I want to do all my work on my own. I don't want anybody's support. This is how they are. Probably like when we also become when we also become their age, probably we'll also say the same thing. None of us would like to depend, or most of the people would not like to depend on our children for any of our needs, any of our expenses. Do you agree with me? Yes, correct, right? So this is the current situation of the parents. They have a minimal money, They already spent almost all the savings, right? And they don't want to trouble the children. At the same time, they don't want to go for the medical examinations, a regular annual health checkup. And coming to the situation of the children, now you can actually correlate with this. Okay, we are all worried about our parents' health. How many of you are agree to it? Yeah, we all agree. We all agree, right? We are worried about our parents, right? And at the same time, parents are not covered. We know that. And at the same time, even if they have, they must be having a minimal coverage. We mostly we complete the coverage details. We don't know what are the details which are there, and which they have the coverage in place. The parents have the coverage in place, like ESI or CGS, CHS, or their existing company providing their health insurance after the retirement. We doesn't know the complete details of coverage of our parents' health insurance, even if they have, right? And we also have a minimal savings. We just started our career. We're just going up the ladder. We're trying to do some new things, trying to gain some money, right? But the amount of savings what most of us will be having is also minimal at this point in time. And but want to take care of our parents, regular medical checkup. We want to go take them for the medical health checkup, but they say no, right? And if there is any medical emergency, if there is any medical emergency, most of us we doesn't have a plan, we doesn't have a fallback option. This is the situation of the children in place. Do you all agree with me? Yes. Okay. See, once we actually look into these aspects, like how actually going on, and we actually look into so many of these factors in place. The parents are right in their own perspective. The children are also right in their own perspective. But we can't force them, because most of the parents, they still treat us as children, so they don't agree to whatever that we say. At the same time, we can't even deny what they are saying, so we can't push them. Okay, so this is the condition what we are in, and this situation actually puts us in a different condition. Okay, and the different condition is, this is where clarity for confidence comes into the picture, wherein we'll discuss on different myths which are there. Okay, and parents have health insurance cover even after their retirement, but most of us, we doesn't know the complete details. Do we know what is the amount of coverage they have? Do we know what are the things which are covered, and at the same time what are the things which are not covered? I think this is the right time wherein we can actually have another poll, wherein we can actually take the feedback from all the audience on how many of the people they know the complete details of coverage of their parental insurance. Let me just come back to you with the poll. Right? Did you get an poll on your screen? I request you people to please participate in this poll. So I know complete details of coverages under my parents' health insurance. And how many of you know what are the things which are what are the things which are So this is the first myth. So what I recommend, what I request everyone, if your parents are having or in health insurance coverage in place, I request you to please take out those documents, collect the information, and go through the details. If you're not finding the details properly, then or you are confused with any of those details, you can always call up on our a number which is flashing out here. It is 7569 645 645. This is the helpline number for all our existing clients. All the participants in this webinar can also use this number, and just on a missed call, we will come back to you. We will come back to you, and we'll be there to help you out in knowing the complete details of your parents. Okay, and the next myth: my company provides health insurance. Do we still need to take the health insurance policy? Okay, how many of you agree? Like, no, is it okay? Let me put another question to you here. How many of you are so guaranteed that you will be there with the company in which you are working forever? Are you going to be there forever? If you are so guaranteed that you are going to be there forever, and will you be so guaranteed that your company will be providing that health insurance for your parents on a continuous basis? Because if you look into the corporate health insurance programs, what we have seen, because we also deal with the corporates, wherein from few hundreds to few thousands of people who will be working as an employees over there. What we have seen, like first they will start giving the insurance with a full-fledged coverage in place, and then after that, once the claims start coming up, once the claim starts and increases more, then what happens? The company will not be in a position to pay the renewal premiums, because renewal premiums has always got an impact of the current policy claims. The claims are more than the premiums that are paid by the company, then definitely your next year premium for your company is going to increase. Once the premium going to increase, how many of the companies are going to sustain? And at the same time, they can't even remove the health insurance facility for their employees, because they have actually floated it as a part of their HR program. So because they can't remove it and because they can't pay it further, what they ask is, this is my budget, what best that you can do within the coverage benefits, and get the total renewal premium under the budget what we have. Then what generally they do is they come out with a concept of co-payment. They introduce something as co-payment, or they will put some capping on the parental claims, or they will put some capping on a particular diseases which are there, like a knee replacement or for appendicitis, or these are the different ways how the renewal premium can be reduced in a corporate health insurance plan. But that's all okay. Probably your company has succeeded in actually renewing the policy. But whatever the coverage benefits, see, your coverage earlier was very better, now it has deteriorated. You never knew what is there and what is not there, and what is not covered, and for how long it is not covered. Okay, these details can be known only if you get through the details of what exactly your company is providing. Are there any co-payments? And most important, there is also something like a room rent limit, and this is something which is really tricky. Okay, and because I'll just quote you one example over here. Say suppose a person got admitted to the hospital, and he got admitted to the hospital wherein the room rent limit is say around 5,000 rupees per day. Okay, this is only a fictitious example. Okay, 5,000 rupees per day, and but that 5,000 rupees eligible room is not available in the hospital. Then what we do? We actually go for the next level, whatever is available. Probably for this example, let's say 6,000 rupees is the room rent which is available in the hospital. Do we argue with the hospital that no, you give me only 5,000 rupees room rent benefit because my company provides a health insurance program wherein I have only a 5,000 rupees room rent? No. Our near and dear, our parents are there. They need to be taken care of the treatment. So what we do? Okay, what is the next room rent? Next room available? We go for that. And okay, we might think no, it is only 6,000 rupees, so 1,000 rupees extra. So we will pay that additional 1,000 rupees to the hospital, and then probably it is 2-3 days. So 3,000 rupees is okay. We can take care of our parents, right? So we go ahead. But you know what happens? Because you stayed in a room which is more than your eligible room rent benefit, that is 5,000 rupees. Okay, so it is 1,000 rupees extra on 5,000 rupees. That is actually 20% of your overall room rent. So you have stayed in a room which is 20% additional to your eligibility. You know what happens? What the insurance company will do? Insurance company, say suppose your entire bill is 1 lakh rupees, they will reduce 20% of the entire bill. They will deduct that. This is what is going to happen. So room rent looks so simple, but when it comes to the claim, that when we actually understand what is the impact of all these conditions which are levied in your health insurance program. So what we recommend, go through your corporate insurance policy, check through your room rent, check through your co-payment, what is available, right? And check through any disease-based cappings which are there. And what are the conditions which are there under which only the claim is payable. These details, if you are not known, in a case of emergency, you don't know what to do. You know, you call up your HR people, they are very good people. Most of the HR people are very good. They come back to you. But once you actually go for the final claim settlement with the hospital, that's the real embarrassing situation for you. That's when you'll actually understand what is covered and what is not covered, and how much is that need to be paid from your pocket. Of course, there will be some kind of non-payable items, but this is additional to that. So these details should be known. Okay, just relaxing up on your company is taking care of your health needs doesn't serve the purpose, right? And then the next myth: my parents are very old, right? An insurance company may not give it. Like they are more than 60 years now, and I don't think that any insurance company will give. This is what I heard from most of the people whom I have met. You know something? There are policies in place wherein the policies can be started even up to age 99. Even up to age 99, we can start the policy. Right? We have those kind of situations, we have those kind of policies in place from different insurance companies. So, don't get worried. Like you need any help in knowing those details, which are available. You can always call back on our number here. It is 7569645645. We'll come back to you. We can actually help you out on that. Okay. So the maximum age limit, there is no age limit. It is not the age. It is only the existing health situation does matter in taking the policy. Okay, that comes out with the next one. So can we so that actually comes out with another myth, that is they already have the existing illness. It might be diabetes, it might be a high blood pressure, it might be they already have a cataract problem in place, or they have a cardiac ailment in place. Okay, so they have already undergone the bypass surgery. So these kind of illness which is already there, can we still have health insurance coverage for them? Yes, we can. We can still have health insurance coverage in place. Okay, we have the specialty products wherein we can cover the people who got some pre-existing illness in place. There are companies which are actually giving specialized policies. Of course, the specialty comes with a little more expensive, but that's okay. Still, we have the coverage in place. So instead of paying a few thousand rupees extra on the premiums, will be much better than actually paying a huge lump sum of medical bills. How many of you agree with me? Yes? You all agree with me? Okay, right. So coming to the next one, that is, I already have the policy now. Can I don't want to. This is what I've actually got to know from most of the people. Like the people who wants to purchase it for their parents, they say no, I don't want to discuss with my dad or my mom. నేను వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడను ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడితే ఎందుకు ఇవన్నీ వేస్ట్ చేస్తున్నావు, యు ఆర్ వేస్టింగ్ ఆల్ దిస్ మనీ, డోంట్ డూ ఇట్ అంటారు. ఓకేనా? Even if they have a small policy in place, you can still have a second policy and you can still claim from both the policies. You can claim. The only thing is you can't claim the same amount from all the companies. That means, say there is an hospitalization bill of say 7 lakh rupees which has come in, okay, and you have only a 5 lakh rupee policy, and the other company is actually providing a 3 lakh rupee policy, okay. So you can have a cashless facility claim under the first policy wherein you have the 5 lakhs of coverage. Okay, claim that, pay the remaining amount, and then whatever you paid, you can actually reimburse from your next insurance policy. That can be done. And this can be also be done if you have the existing policy from your corporate and you want to take it a separate policy from your side, you can still do that. First, I always recommend go ahead and then use the corporate policy first, because they will be having much more benefits in place. Because the individual policies what we take, it comes with the waiting periods, it actually comes with some waiting periods and then pre-existing coverage conditions in place. So it is not just starting the policy, it is how many years you are there with your policy, and having that experience in place will give you more benefits. So the early you start the insurance policy in place, the early you will get the better benefits. Okay, so this is another, and covered. Yeah, this is I have seen most of the cases not naming the banks, but most of the banks. I actually thank the banks to initiate this process, because most of the banks are providing health insurance facility for their account holders. So it is one of the good value addition what they are actually doing. But there is actually a small challenge in this. The challenge is, earlier when the banks have started, this was actually almost 10 years back, when they have actually started giving this benefits to all their account holders. It was a full-fledged policy. Full-fledged policy means it was an all-risk policy. All-risk means everything is covered, but they will only mention what are the things which are not covered and for how long. Okay, once you know that, so you be with the company, you be with the policy for a longer period, then the benefits will keep on increasing. Okay, so this is called as an all risk policy. But later on, because the moment claims started raising, even the banks could not sustain, and the conditions of coverage got reduced. Okay, I was actually going through one of the bank policy which they are actually offering it to their clients. The pre-existing diseases are covered only after 4 years, right? And at the same time, the knee replacement surgeries are covered after 4 years. If there is any comorbid conditions like diabetes or even BP, then those complications related to the comorbid will be only after 2 years. So these kind of conditions they have actually built in, probably to reduce their renewal premiums. But it is up to you to actually, it is your responsibility to check through what are the coverages which are there, and how it is going to cover all your parents. Okay, this is one. And one more major important thing. This is not an individual policy which they are offering to each and every person. Okay, that means it is a group policy. Once it is a group policy, you are part of the group of account holders who have taken the policy. Okay, so once you are into a group policy, if there are more claims, your premiums which need to be paid on an every yearly basis will keep on increasing. If the claims are rising, your premium will also rise. Okay, and if the premiums are raising, from where will your parents will keep paying those premiums? Because most of the retired people, because they have gone to the bank to put up their retirement fund, they have actually taken the health insurance through the banks. And even last couple of years, most of the people are actually coming back to us asking about what are the other options. And we can't even port all this experience, 3-4 years experience, 4-5 years experience you have been with the bank. You can't even port this experience to your individual policies. Even if they are charging you more, going every year renewal, you have to pay. There is no other option. And the only way how you can have is have a parallel policy in place along with your existing bank account health insurance policy. If it doesn't have any other option, then you have to continue both of them together for a period of time, and then you may have to shift. You have to cancel. You have to not to renew your health insurance provided by your bank, and then continue it with your personal plan. So having your own self individual health insurance policy is always recommended than any other group insurance policy. Be it your corporate, be it your bank, or be it your society which is actually giving, because we don't know how long they are going to cover, and how good are they going to cover consistently, right? So this is one. And yeah, so Same policy benefits, which is the best company? Wow, this is something which we got it from one of the people who got registered. They said, see, almost like it's every company almost same policies is on the, so which is the best? No, which is the best insurance company? Okay, I say whatever is the insurance company, if they're accepting your risk, if they're giving you the policy, just go ahead and take it. Just go ahead and take it. Because for the senior citizens, we have very less opportunities which are there. So you can't have more options to look into, and then you can exercise your decision. No, whoever gives you, just go ahead and take it. Okay, and so these are the few things which we have which we got the myths which have been there with most of the participants who got registered, and then the top few we have actually uploaded over here, and then we will also take up your queries when we are actually coming out when we are actually coming out with the question and answers session. But before that, I would definitely want to go for an poll over here. Okay. Yes. So this is the poll. I just want to see, which is the best time. And you know what is the poll over here? The question here is, which is the best time to purchase your parents' health insurance? I request everyone to please participate in this. See, if we actually look into the different kinds of when we actually need to go for the health insurance, if our parents are less than 50 years, right? And most of the times, what we have seen, we will not be in a position to influence our parents, most of us, because we are still listening to them, right? We are still listening to them. We doesn't have any authority to tell them. Okay, we don't feel like being authority to tell them, right? And even if we say, they will say, no, you don't know anything. Just wait. I know. I already have. Don't need for it. I will not depend on you. I'll not depend on you. I know how to take care of myself and your mom. Okay, so don't get worried. We will take care. This is the most blunt answer what we are going to get. Most of us. I'm not saying each of you will get the same way, but most of us will be getting the same answer. Okay, and but even if we try doing it, they say, don't waste your money. If you really have such kind of money, do one thing, put it across in your savings account or put some investment somewhere. That will be a better option. Don't waste your money. These are the responses what we normally get when we actually ask them, why don't we get started. So what we have seen, 70% of the people, 70% of the people, they really look through what coverages they have only once their parents are showing the symptoms of any illness, whether they just started having diabetes or they just started having high blood pressure, and then probably they just met with a small surgery, and they have seen how huge the hospitals they will charge the bill, and so now they actually wanted to have the coverage in place. 70% of people, okay, and out of this 70% of the people, 90% of the people, they stop their process of purchasing the policy only in analyzing which is the best policy which is available. They will search through the net, right? They will analyze it very much. Okay, they will have the complete spreadsheets in place. They'll go to the comparative sites which gives you the comparison between the products, and they get through the details so much that actually they get confused. Now they are completely confused. Earlier was the era in probably before 2000, year 2000, there was no information which was available. Now after 2000, because of the information technology, you have so much of information available. Now you are so much confused what to be taken, what not to be taken. That's somewhat even more confusing, and this is even more pathetic condition. You know what it does? It actually stops you in taking the action. It doesn't matter what policy it is. Sometimes it doesn't really matter what policy it is. It only matters whether you have taken the policy or not. Whether you have taken the policy only matters whether it is going to help you out in the case of any emergencies. And this is a real fact. I've seen. I'll want to quote an example over here. This was I think in April. Yeah, I think in April because of the current pandemic situation of COVID, which just started in March, and then we went into the lockdown. That's when, and this person, he actually stays in US. He stays in US, and then one of his friend who is my client, wherein I helped out his parents in a particular treatment to happen in a hospital, and we got the complete health insurance claim settlement also done by my team. Okay, so he referred me and my services to his roommate. He's a roommate in US, and then he called me up and said, "Sir, I also want to have an policy in place, and we want to go for an health insurance policy." You know what happened? When actually I told about all the solutions, I said, like, no, at least minimum a person should have in current conditions at least a minimum of 5 lakhs and above each person. So two of your parents, a minimum of 10 lakhs and above coverage should be in place. So when I told all these things, he said, "Yeah, I do understand, but I need to still go back to my father, and then I have to ask him." He went back to his father, and I told him, "See, you're going to have three different kinds of situations. Okay, one, your father says don't waste your time. Second, he says, I'm healthy, so you just forget about that. And third thing, you'll say, I'm any which way, I'm going for a regular no, routine on myself. I'm going to my regular walk and everything. Everything is fine. Don't get worried." This is what he's going to say. And if you say 10 lakh, he will definitely say what is. And if you say compulsory that you have to take the policy, and you are compulsory, you are taking the policy, then he will say, "Okay, what is the least sum assured? What is the least policy?" No, the parents, they don't want to. They don't want to give any trouble to the children. So they say, "Well, what is the least?" Then I said, if you get the last question that he says, "What is the least?" Don't even say anything less than 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs is the least. You say that. Then he will stick on, okay, you take at least 5 lakhs. And exactly the same thing happened. He has taken 5 lakh, and in that policy there is also some kind of a recharge benefit which is out there. But the irony of the situation, in April he has taken the policy, and in just last month, or in October 16th, his father got the symptoms of corona. And he was actually so worried. He was so worried, and he came, and then he got admitted into hospital in high tech city. I don't want to name any hospital over here, right? And he was in hospital for almost 13 days. 13 days he was there, and 13 days, and he also have a little bit of BP, and a little bit. He was not diabetic, but there was a BP out there for him. So there was some little bit comorbid conditions, so a little complicated. But at the end, you know what happened? He survived. He survived, and the total bill was almost 7,90,000 rupees. Out of 7,90,000 rupees, his existing policy is only 5 lakhs. There was some recharge benefit which was out there. So the entire almost 6 lakh rupees after deducting all the non-payable items. No, it was not 7,90,000. It was close to around 7,20,000. So almost 6 lakhs change has got it from the insurance company. Rest of the money they paid. And now his father actually goes out and says to all his friends, please purchase health insurance for yourself. Don't that's the best way how you can help out your children. That's the best way how you can be independent of yourself. So this is the live situation what we have actually seen in our past experience. Okay, so the types of coming to the types of solutions which are available in the parental health insurance, we have different kinds. Are, the first is there's a kind of policies which will cover the parents, but they only say subject to underwriting. Okay, so on the brochures probably they will say we will cover up to any age. There is no age limit, but they say subject to underwriting. And subject to underwriting is such a star marked statement wherein it's not, I'm not commenting on anyone. It actually depends on every insurance company's internal underwriting guidelines on which they accept the risk. See, we always think that we are purchasing the insurance policy. No, it is actually we are transferring our risk, our health risk to the insurance company. So it is up to them to accept it or not. This is how the underwriting works. Okay, so subject to underwriting guidelines. So some insurance companies may give you the policy, some insurance companies may not give you the policy, and at the same time, I recommend everyone while you are taking any policies, please declare your entire health insurance history, not your entire health history to your insurer. So write all the details. If you're using any medicines, give all those details. Okay, it's better you be upfront and give it to the insurance company all the details. It's up to them to accept it or not. If they accept it, well and good, they will pay your claim. If they don't accept it, well and good, you are not wasting your money. At least that money you can put it as a safety fund and you can keep growing it. Either way it can be done, but declare all your details to the insurance company. That is a must, right? And there are second kind of companies, they will cover, but thing is every 5 years your premiums, the renewal premiums to be paid will keep on increasing. This is the second set of policies which are there. Okay, and of course, according to the regulator, the IRDA says like no, whoever is actually taking the policy after age 60, the first time they are taking the health insurance policy, there is a co-payment which is inbuilt, which is a condition in almost all the policies of all the companies, because that's the regulator who has actually given. There is a 20% co-payment which is mandatory under almost all the policies. Okay, what does that mean? That means if there is a claim of say 5 lakh rupee, right, 20% of that, so 1 lakh rupee need to be paid by us and 4 lakhs will be paid by the insurance company to the hospital. Okay, so that's how it works. So co-payment is something which is mandatory for the people who are taking the policy for the first time after age 60. So if any of your parents are 60 and below, this is the right time, just take the policies. Anyway, anywhere, any company, any product, but take the policy, right? And then we have the third set of policies that are in place. They will cover. They admit that the health conditions of the parents are not so great, will not be great, okay, most of us, okay, and then so they accept the risk, and at the same time, they will cover the same premium for the entire lifetime. So the premiums doesn't change at all, okay. So premiums will be static, they will not be growing. So even if your parents wants to pay their health insurance premium on their own within their regular pension, they can budget it and they can pay it. Okay, they can still feel they are not depending on their children. Okay, and but say suppose if there is an increasing premium kind of policies, what if we actually choose, then we have to bear the cost, because it is actually our parents, and we'll be really there to do whatever it takes to make sure that they get the best of the best medical treatment in case of any emergency. Don't we always want to give the best, right? So that best will come with your policies and it gives you with a peace of mind. Okay, these are the different kinds of solutions what are available in the market, and you want to know any details about what kind of policies are there, and you want to customize it for your own requirement for your own parents, then you can always call us up. It is 7569 645 645 is our number. You can always call us up. We'll be delighted to help you. One, in knowing the coverage is what you already have with your policies in place, right? In knowing what are the things which are not covered under your existing policies, in knowing what are the conditions of coverage which are levied under your policies, and probably in selecting what fits you the best policy which is available in the market. Okay, so these are the types of solutions which are available, and this is the most important thing. This is the most important thing which I wanted to go ahead. But before that, if anybody wants to
Yes, sir. Tell me. It is definitely something that will wake up many people, including me. I, I think that was the objective of the entire webinar. I am myself at 56 plus, and and mm, I have a question actually. I have my wife and me and my daughter who are in a family floater policy, and the cover is for 10 lakhs. And my daughter, now that she is married and migrated to US, I'll be taking her out of the equation. Now, in what is 10 lakhs today is worth peanuts 10 years down the line. Now, how do we, yeah, how do we actually address those kind of issues? Because as we progress, our earning actually goes down, and the demand on any kind of health expenditure will actually start increasing during that period.
question that you have actually asked, let me try answering this. Sir, first of all, let me just congratulate you on this. The reason because you have actually got a policy which is over and above, much more than what average people have actually got. Average people in India, the family insurance is what they have is around 5 lakh rupees. You have 10 lakh rupees, so congratulations on that. And probably you had the similar kind of thought well before, because of which you have taken such a kind of decision here. Good. And coming to your current conditions, see, there are two ways of actually doing it. whenever your renewal comes up, try to increase the sum assured in your existing policy. That's the first thing what we actually recommend you. And the second thing, if we also need to evaluate on one more aspect, whether it is right to actually increase the sum assured within your existing policy, or do we need to add an additional policy as a top up or as a base plan. So we need to work out on all these aspects, and then we need to figure out which is the best, because these days top up policies are coming up with such a low cost premium, wherein we have even the options wherein the pre-existing disease can be covered after 1 year. So we need, because if we actually have your existing policy in place and we increase from say 10 lakhs to 20 lakh rupees, probably for that additional sum assured what you have taken, it will be treated as your fresh policy. Your waiting period will start, your 2 years exclusions will start, and also even your pre-existing condition also will start. So we need to evaluate whether it is increasing your existing policy or having a top up or having a base policy again. We have to just figure it out. Probably once we actually know the complete details, we'll be delighted to help you out in person. We'll take it offline, sir. Did I answer this question?
You did.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you. And anybody else? Okay. So let me just come back to the final thing. That's the action points which need to be done. Okay. So the action points which need to be followed after this webinar. Okay. And this is something which is really, I request each of you to please do it for your benefits, for your parents' sake. Okay. Almost thing. Check the existing policy benefits. I request each of you, please go to your parents, ask them what is the coverage that they have, and then pull out those details. Even if they don't give, probably just ask or go and Google it, and then get the details and check what are the benefits which are there and what are the benefits which are not there. If you are confused, don't get worried. We are here to help you to have the clarity. Me and my team, we will help you out. You can call us up, we'll help you out, and then we'll help you to know the details properly. And second thing, most important, what are not covered and for how long. This is most important. And the third thing, what are the network of hospitals or what are the nearby hospitals in which you can avail the cashless facility. Cashless facility is something which is most important, because in emergency, most of us, we don't carry the cash or we don't carry the money in our bank accounts to pay the bills. So cashless facility is there. 99% of the problems are resolved then and there. Otherwise, getting the bills again, putting it in order and submitting it to the insurance company, all these things will take time. It is not that we can't do it. We can do it, but it takes time. And most of us, we are so much worried about the medical treatment at the point of treatment, but after 1 week or after 1 month, we'll not be so serious about it. And most of the reimbursement claims are actually getting stuck up only because people are not giving the entire bills in time. And if any bill is missing or if any document is missing, all these documents, it will be our responsibility to go back to the hospital and then get that document and then submit again to the insurance company, because you are actually coming for an reimbursement facility. Okay, so always look for the cashless facility and look for the details of the hospitals which are nearby your home or nearby your parents' location, wherever they are staying. So have the details in place. Okay, this is the third thing what you want to do. And the fourth thing, on emergency, what are the numbers on which you have to call up? What are the numbers which you have to call up? Just keep aware of the policy details, because once you call up the helpline number to register the claim, the immediate question what they will be asking, what is the policy? What is the policy number? What is the person name? And what is the age group? So they will ask, and what is the reason for which they got admitted and which hospital they got admitted. So these are the details which the the insurance company helpline people will be asking to actually register the claim. So have those details readily available. Okay, and the most important thing, this is something which is the dear and nearest point for me. Make all this detail available for all your family members. This is really, really, really important. I'll tell you why. I've seen a practical case wherein one of my client, his parent got hospitalized. There was a heart-related issue, so he need to be rushed to the hospital that in the midnight, and he is actually there in Delhi on his business trip, and there is no one at home. It was only his wife, and children were also currently working, so they are also not at home. It is only his wife and parents are at home. So you know what he did? He actually called up his friend who stays nearby. His friend rushed to his home. He picked up their parents and then moved them to the hospital. And you know, if the details are available only with you, it's going to create a lot of problem. So always keep all these details both in your soft form, put it in your mail, and also as a physical form, put it as a file, and then keep it available to all your family members. Discuss with them something which is never discussed in most of our families with all the family members is about insurance. We say something that should not be discussed. No, it should be discussed, because in case of any emergency, if the family member got affected, you are there, you can actually take care. But if you got affected, and if they doesn't have the details in place, who will take it? And you know, in what condition are you pushing your family members in that situation? So always make sure you make the details available to all your family members. This is something which is very, very, very important. And I request each of you to please do and do these action points, not for me, it's for yourself. It's like kind of a gratitude what you can show towards your parents. I request you to please go ahead with these action points. And we would also like to tell you on this occasion that the entire webinar, whatever is happening, is getting recorded and it will be uploaded into the YouTube. I request to please share this video to most of your loved ones, your friends, your family members, your near and dear. And wherever you see in a family there are parents or aging people, right? Just ask them to just go through it. If there is any which way that we can actually help them with even one single point in taking care of their parents, I think we'll be saying that we are very successful in actually conducting this webinar. And thanks a lot for joining us, and thanks a lot. So coming back to our theme of the presentation. So
Thank
my
you.
parents
Thank you,
will
Rasim.
always.
It was really helpful.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Thanks a
Thank you.
lot, sir. It actually happening, and I myself have actually gone through these conditions, so I know the practicality of this situation. And I thank each of you. Each of you actually attended this webinar, and thanks a lot. Get in touch with us. We are only one missed call away. You can actually just call up the number which is getting flashed here. It is 7569645645. Just give us a missed call. My team and myself will be readily available there to help you out. It's not just selling the policies. Selling the policies is something which is secondary to us. It is actually helping out the people in the need of the hour, and preparing themselves before getting into any emergency. Prevention is always better than cure. So know all the coverages in place, know all the hospitals which are nearby, know whom to be contacted, know what are the things which are not paid, and how best you can plug in those details with different solutions which are available here. That actually makes the gratitude what you can give towards your parents. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for joining us here. Thanks a lot, each and everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful session. Thanks a lot. Now, I think we have a clear view about the parameters which needs to be, to be understood before buying a parents' health insurance policy. And yeah, I would like to thank all our participants for being part of this webinar. It means a lot. Thank you. Thanks a lot to each and every one of you. Thank you.